My name's Adam, and today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic, which is to save on your energy bills. I live in an apartment in Dubai, and I was thinking, how can I save on my energy bills? I've got these bills coming in every month, and the electricity and water and all these kind of things. How do I save on these energy bills? And I was surprised by the sheer amount of information out there when it comes to saving on your bills. The biggest energy guzzlers in your house are your AC, your tumble dryer, and your water heaters. And your AC consumes 75% of your energy needs. Lighting is just 10%, you guys. So pay attention to this. Your AC is the biggest culprit, and also your water heaters. So the most obvious tip that we can start with is switching it off. You can switch off your AC when you're out of the house. Of course, don't do that when you're in the house because you can't survive in this hot weather. The temperatures in the summer are so high, I don't think anyone can survive without the AC. So switch it off when you leave the house. Don't keep any of your ACs on in the house. That's number one. Number two, what I like to call unused is misused. The same thing applies to switching off the ACs in rooms that are not being used. 24 is the best score. I like how I came up with these things that rhyme. Meaning that DEWA recommends setting the thermostat to 24 degrees Celsius in the summer for best results. Now, for me personally, I find it a little bit uncomfortable. 24 is a little bit hot for me, so I set the temperature to 23. Some people might even find 23 to be hot. They might set it to 22. But I think that 23 is the optimum temperature. Find what works for you, but remember that the colder you set your thermostat, the more energy it uses and the higher your energy bill. Keep that in mind. Each degree increase in setting your thermostat temperatures can save up to 5% on AC consumption. Now, the next thing is something I like as well, and I'm using in my house because I'm lucky to have fans around my house. The first time I saw the fans in the apartment, I thought, why do you need fans, man? You just turn on the AC. But it turns out that fans are very useful if you have a ceiling fan. So if you have a fan, you can use it more often. Turn it off before leaving, though. To balance comfort and energy savings, I like to use a mix of AC and fans by setting the AC to auto or using the AC in one room instead of many ACs in the house by combining them. So I combine them with the fans. So I keep the AC on auto and I turn on the fan if the temperature is bearable. If it's not, you can keep the AC on at the lowest level, like level 1, for example, and turn on your fan. That's going to make the room colder and you don't consume that much energy. Auto is your new motto. Ensure your air conditioning unit is set to auto rather than on most of the time. This process will regulate the room temperature more effectively. If your AC's filter is clogged or dirty, by the way, I got mine cleaned recently, my AC filter. The airflow can be affected if that happens, and its efficiency may be reduced significantly. DEWA recommends cleaning your AC filters periodically or at least twice a year. If you have a programmable thermostat, that's also great because programmable or intelligent thermostats can regulate room temperatures and AC operation duration, so that decreases the energy consumed by your AC as well. And finally, maintenance. So make sure your AC is in tip-top condition. That means you should hire a professional maintenance company to perform periodic checkups, or you can just ask the landlord to send their maintenance company or the developer, and they can ensure that the AC filters are clean, the electrical wirings are working correctly, the thermostat is working correctly, your refrigerant levels are in the right amounts. If you don't fix these kind of problems, you might end up with more expensive problems, by the way, especially during the summer. The SEER value. And this is very interesting because a lot of people don't know what the SEER value is, including AC technicians. Can you believe that? People working in an electromechanical company, they have no idea what a SEER value is, but it's out there and it's real, and it's a critical value that measures air conditioning and heat pump cooling efficiency, and it stands for the seasonal energy efficiency ratio. So before you buy an AC for your house or your business, always make sure to check this value first. if you have a higher SEER value, that means that you have a more energy efficient AC in your premises. And it's calculated, this SEER value is calculated by dividing the cooling output for a typical cooling season by the total electric energy input during the same time frame. So a higher SEER value means greater energy efficiency. Make sure that your AC unit has a minimum SEER value of 14.5 BTUs per watt hours, British thermal units per watt hours. That is actually the minimum standard by the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency in the US. Now, DEWA recommends AC units or AC SEER values above 13 BTU per watt hours, but the EPA recommends 14.5. So the higher the SEER value that you have, the better and the more energy efficient your AC is going to be. Now, if you want to determine the tonnage of your existing AC unit, that was kind of tricky. I had to do this for different AC units. I was trying to determine the tonnage for these AC units. You can divide the nominal capacity by 12 because 1 ton is equal to 12,000 BTUs per hour. So suppose you have an existing AC unit on your house, let's say it can be found on the roof for most centralized AC units, with a SEER value of 10, which is below the recommended standard of 13 by DEWA and 14.5 by the EPA. This means that your AC unit is less energy efficient by a whopping 32%. Can you believe that? So I think one of the most important things you can do, if you can, is to find out what is your SEER value for your air conditioning unit. And if you can change your AC, that'll be even better. If you can't, I guess there's nothing you can do about it. For more information about SEER values, I've also left a link in the description below from a Wikipedia article that talks about the seasonal energy efficiency ratio. Now we're going to move on to water. And water is a precious source. And we all know that we have to be saving a lot of water. Now, there are saving tips that you can find directly from DEWA's website on your water appliances and irrigation and bathrooms. And I'm going to read out to you a few of these tips directly from DEWA. So these are not from me, these are from DEWA. So let me read out some of them to you. First of all, dishwashers. DEWA recommends that you only run your dishwasher when full to make the best use of water, energy, and detergent. Also, when you purchase a new dishwasher, consider purchasing one with a high ESMA energy efficiency ratio of 5 or 4 stars at least. As for washing machines, if you have a washing machine, let's say an automatic washing machine, wait till you have a full load of laundry before running the machine. This way, you can save both water and energy. If you can't wait for a full load, use the proper water level to match the size of the load. When you purchase a new washing machine, consider purchasing one with a high ESMA energy efficiency ratio, again, 5 or 4 stars. Reduce the temperature at which your washing machine operates as well. Next, we've got showers and kitchen faucets. So you can install a water-efficient shower head with a flow rate of less than 8 liters per minute. You can check the flow rate by putting a glass of a container or something, and you can see how long it takes to fill up that container. So you can save more than 5 gallons or 19 liters per day if you do that. Clean vegetables in a bowl partially filled with water rather than running water from the tap, considering all health issues, by the way. Reuse the water for plants at your home. That's also very, very environmentally friendly. That will save a lot of water. Next, toilets. Now, the good news is that new toilet models use up to 6 liters of water per flush, so they save about 6 liters per flush compared to older models, because older models were not very efficient. So that results in an annual water saving of around 10,000 liters per person. This is all according to DEWA, by the way. Check toilets periodically for leaks and repair them promptly. That's important. If your toilet is leaking, make sure that you fix it, because that's going to be, that's just such a waste. It's going to be wasting water. Check your toilets and make sure that they don't leak. Like we said, water heaters are one of the biggest energy culprits, so make sure that you switch off those water heaters during the summer, whether during the summer or during winter. Just switch it off when you're done. That can save a ton of energy. That can save up to 50% of your water heating and cooling energy consumption. And then we can talk a little bit about general watering. So you can water your plants before 8 a.m. and after 6 p.m. to reduce evaporation losses. That's also smart, because if you water them during the day, the water will evaporate pretty fast. And if you do it before 8 a.m. or after 6 p.m., you can reduce that evaporation loss. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Shower instead of taking a bath. Taking a quick shower rather than a bath can actually save you an average of 20 gallons of water per day. 20 gallons! That's 76 liters of water. I mean, come on, you guys. Taking a bath is incredibly wasteful. You can also use the microwave oven instead of your main oven to save more energy. Now let's talk a little bit about electricity, and there's something important that you need to know about, which is called the phantom power. We're not talking about some superhero here. Phantom, we call it phantom power, vampire power, idle power, whatever kind of power that will suck you dry. Vampire power. So phantom power or load refers to this electricity that is consumed or actually wasted by connected devices that are switched off or in standby mode. According to a joint study by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and several other environmental agencies around the globe, phantom power can cost you up to 10% of your monthly energy bill. Can you believe that? All that energy being sucked away. So to save all that energy, you can turn off any devices that are not being used, like coffee makers, microwave ovens, computers, clocks. I know this might sound a little bit inconvenient because these devices, maybe you like to keep them on standby mode. Maybe you have a lot of smart appliances in your home. However, if you turn them off, you can save about 10% of your energy bill. Can you believe that? If this study is accurate by the EPA. In short, you can turn off anything that has an on-off switch that is not being used. And finally, let's talk a little bit about lighting. Now, although lighting takes about 10 or 15% of your energy bill, it's a good idea to consume it more efficiently. So here's what you can do. The most obvious thing to do is to replace your incandescent lights with LED lights. LED stands for light emitting diode, and I think a lot of people know what LED lights are by now. So you can use these efficient lights for indoor and outdoor lighting because of their longer lifespan, higher efficiency, and less heat, because they generate less heat as well. So clean your light bulbs regularly because dirt limits diffusion of light, and that decreases illumination. Turn off unnecessary lights and use natural lighting as much as possible in places that are not exposed directly to sunlight during the summer. That's good. You can also use timers or motion detectors to control the light's operation wherever applicable. And finally, you can install dimmers to control the brightness of lights and reduce energy consumption. For me personally, I replaced all my existing 60-watt incandescent lights in my apartment with this incredible 8-watt energy-efficient LED light from a brand called Electrolux. But you can find great alternatives, so many options available from Philips, General Electric, and so many others. Just imagine this. LED lights are up to 85% more efficient than conventional bulbs. This means that each LED lamp can save you up to 1,000 dirhams over its lifetime. And they can also live for tens of thousands of hours, up to 50,000 hours of usage. They generate less heat than traditional light bulbs, which ultimately reduces your cooling load. Bottom line is, say goodbye to incandescent lighting, the traditional 60-watt wasteful bulb, unless you still want to be a wasteful dinosaur. Join the efficient, money-saving future with LED lighting technology. You know, I won't be surprised in the future if cities all around the world, including Dubai, start banning incandescent lights due to their wasteful nature. If you do buy LED lights, some of the brands also offer you a cool option. You can change the lighting color however you like if you have LED lights. But before you go out and start buying LED lights, make sure you know the size and type of your lighting fixture. For instance, most houses have the fitting or cap type E27. Make sure that you know what type of fitting you have for your bulb. You can take out your bulb, see what type it is. It's usually written on the bulb, and then you can go ahead and purchase new energy efficient LED lights. Before you do that, guys, you gotta know what is the color temperature you want. Are you comfortable with yellowish color or more white color? Do you want white or yellow? I prefer mine to be white, so mine is around 6500. That is the color temperature. You can also go for more yellowish options, so that's going to be less than 65. And finally, how many lumens do you want, or how many lumens does the bulb have? Try to get bulbs that are at least 700 lumens to ensure bright lighting. Some of the bulbs are not bright, so make sure you read that on the specifications, how many lumens this bulb has. So with all these energy tips, you guys, you can shrink down your energy bill and prevent it from ballooning up ever again, especially during the summer. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and have a great day.